Hi, this is Chris Drury. I'm the co-chair of the Student Academic Advising Committee. And in this video, we're going to walk through how Microsoft Bookings can be a really helpful tool for you as a faculty advisor in terms of managing meetings with students, allowing students to sign up remotely for meetings very easily, and to hopefully help address some of the issues that we saw from the faculty advising feedback survey, which were that students often miss meetings or come to meetings unprepared. So I think bookings can be a good tool to help address some of those concerns and to free up a lot of the time that you might spend in scheduling to spend on other things that are more important. So in the Eastern Application Portal, we can find bookings under all the app listings. And bookings fully integrates with everything else in Microsoft, which is really handy. What you can do is start a new bookings calendar if you'd like to, or you can use an existing one if you're already familiar with this. In creating a new bookings calendar, what you can do is create one from scratch and choose education as a business type. And then I'm going to create an initial service for 30 minutes and call it an advising meeting. And you have the option of making this an automatic online Teams meeting where a link to the meeting is sent to your advisee, and it also enters into Outlook automatically too. To start with, I'm going to leave this as 9 to 5, but I'm going to pare this down more based on my office hours being kind of unique, like faculty office hours spread over 3 days tend to be. And I'm going to add myself as the person providing this service. All right, so what I'm going to do from the main bookings menu is go to manage services. And I'm actually just going to show what this looks like making a service from scratch. So what I'm going to do is call this Senior Advising Week. You can also set just one service and send that link out for all upcoming advising meetings. But if you wanted to break it down and ask students to set up meetings for their designated week, this is how you would do this. So let's say it's March 7th to the 11th coming up. Again, I'm going to make sure this is an actual online Teams meeting set for 30 minutes. And I'm going to save that change and then see that it's under my service listing now. And I could copy it and start to make other advising weeks available. But what I'm going to do first is just go through and finish editing everything here. So right now it's set to the default scheduling options, which you can use if you'd like. If you're the only advisor, it might make sense to do that. But what I'm going to do here is just make this unique for this advising week. I'm going to make sure that there's 24 hours notice for me that students can't sign up for a meeting just right before a meeting time and kind of catch me off guard. And then I'm going to set my availability here. First, I'm going to do not generally available and bookable, but available during a specific set of dates, March 7th to the 11th for Senior Advising Week. And I'm going to set those as custom hours recurring, although it'll only be available for this date range. And I'm going to here set my unique office hours and say Tuesday, for example, 9 to noon. And then let's say Wednesdays, I'm available from 2 to 4. And then Fridays from 1 to 4. And not Thursdays at all. And so I'm going to save those changes too. And then just before I go any further, I'm going to check to see how those are looking in my booking page. So I'm going to go over here to the settings, look at the booking page. And the first thing I need to do is configure it so that right now it's set to no self-service, don't publish self-service for our students. Instead, I want to make sure it is available to people in the organization. And now once I save that, I have a link that I can either use to send emails out or that I could copy and paste and send to any students I might want. So in this case, so far we just have our Senior Advising Week selected here. and we could see that the only dates available fall on that March 7th through 11th. Now I know for a fact that I have already a March 11th all-day meeting scheduled on my Outlook calendar. So the convenient thing is that time is blocked off. Students can't schedule because Microsoft is integrated and it knows that I already am scheduled for a meeting on that Friday. So I'm not going to be able to attend any meetings with students. Back in the bookings page, you can continue to tweak the service. Like I mentioned before, what you would want to do is review some customer info if you want to require notes from a student or questions, or if you want to make sure they put in their email address, you can set that to required here. I recommend making an email required at least. You can change the settings so that text notifications are possible, and that you can also get a meeting invite in Outlook. This is also where you can make sure students see any kind of instructions you might want to have set for them for their meeting. You can also put in links here to department pages if you want them to review any information about the degree requirements, minor requirements, etc. So you can add links in, or you can just tell them, come prepared with a list of classes, come prepared with an Eastern and 4 plan, come prepared to talk about internship options, those kinds of things. The other thing that's recommended is sending an email reminder. So right now this is set to go out one day before the meeting. I'm going to say send it to customer, meaning the student, and instead I'm going to call it a meeting rather than service. Please make sure to come with your classes selected. So it makes it very clear what the expectation is on the student, and you could spend your time on other things other than picking out individual courses one by one. So now what I'm going to do is just copy these out and set them up for the subsequent weeks. So junior advising week, which is March 21st through 25th. And make sure to change my availability to match that week. All right, so we're going to take a look at what the bookings page looks like now. The students can go in, choose their advising week. It should match up with the date availability we listed so that they're only able to schedule during the posted office hours for that week. And I'm going to actually go in and sign up for a meeting now to show you what that looks like. And as a student, they can enter their own notes too. So that's now booked. The student and you should both get a message. This is the confirmation message to the student. Please come prepared with your course options, and then the link to join the meeting once it's time. And like I said, that reminder should go out also one day in advance of this meeting. Thanks for watching, and please contact the Advising Center at advise@easternct.edu for questions about advising, and please feel free to contact me, Chris Drury, at druryc@easternct.edu if you have any questions about using bookings for advising. Thanks.